You already see the gameplay in the background, so you already know what time it is. Pedro, hit explosions on him! I'm 14, I'm living in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm still a virgin off up in this bitch. Me and my homeboy Julian, we walk into my crib to go play some video games. I hear this girl scream out behind me, "Hey yo boy, you got a fat ass!" Of course, me being flattered, I turn around to hear where it's coming from. I see these two girls sitting on the front porch of this house. We have a quick look of approval amongst each other. Two women. Lego. Upon closer inspection, we see that one of the girls is extremely freaking pretty, and the other girl, the bitch looked like Penguin from Batman Arkham Origins off up in this bitch. We all get to know each other a little bit more, and it's funny because when me and Julian sat down to talk to these women, both me and him are both trying to talk to the hot girl. The ugly chick, we're gonna call her Stephanie. The beautiful girl, we're gonna name her Lonnie. We go up into Lonnie's house, man. We all sit on the couch. We're all just bullshitting, you know, just talking, getting to know one another. Julian gets up, he takes Lonnie's hand, and he pulls her into her room. There's not much I could do, okay? He goes back into the room with Lonnie. I'm stuck on the couch talking to Stephanie. So halfway through the conversation, Julian comes walking out of Lonnie's room. I could tell by the disappointing look on his face that he didn't get very far with her. Once he comes out and he sits on the couch, he's looking super mad. So I get up, you know, and I walk into Lonnie's room. She's sitting down on her bed. I sit down beside her, you know, I just start talking to her. Now, I don't have any game. Adding to the injury, when I was that young, I had low self-esteem, had no confidence. I was very unsmooth growing. Now, Julian had all of that shit by the bags full. Okay, this dude was Puerto Rican, black, tattoos, you know, he had like hazel eyes, some shit, wavy ass fucking hair. He's one of those dudes that carries a brush in his back pocket, pulls that bitch out every 2 or 3 minutes and brushes his hair for no fucking reason, like 4 or 5 times, will not even break conversation. Like, it's just that much a routine for this motherfucker. I'm in there and I'm talking to her. I'd already figured I didn't have any chance with her, so I was like, man, fuck it. I was just talking to her, laughing, joking. You know, I remember combing her hair a little bit and I made her laugh a couple times. Lo and behold, me and this girl start making out, which for some reason immediately signifies that this is my girlfriend now, which is exactly what it ended up being. We made it official like a couple of hours after that, right? So I've got this beautiful ass fucking girlfriend. I remember Julian comes in there and he sees me having so much fun with this girl. Julian ends up leaving because Julian has made it grossly apparent that he's there for Lonnie and only Lonnie. He's not fucking with Stephanie. And I asked him, I'm like, yo man, you know, can you hook me up and run some interference on Stephanie for me? Because anyone who's ever been a wingman knows that if there's 2 girls and one of them is displeased or unsatisfied or bored, if you leave her unattended for long enough, she will just grab her friend and be like, you know what, we're leaving, and just go. Julian wasn't willing to take this L, so I'm stuck. Now, I remember Lonnie's mom would go to work at about 4:30, which was exactly at the same time Zoids on Cartoon Network would be ending. And it was really funny because that made Zoids that much better for me because I correlated possibly having sex with my awesome then girlfriend with Zoid. When Zoids would go off, I would immediately jump up and run like 2.5 blocks over freaking Lonnie's house because I knew her mom would be at work. One day, I ran so fast, I legitimately missed Lonnie's mom by like 15 seconds, which is bad because Lonnie's mom has shotguns and the bitch was fucking crazy. What Lonnie's mom also made sure to do, and Lonnie told me this, was to keep Stephanie around Lonnie 24/7, especially when Lonnie's mom was at work. Lonnie's mom was apparently extremely brilliant because she knew that Stephanie was fat and ugly. She knew that because Stephanie looked like that, no dudes were gonna mess with her, which made her bitter, which made it nearly impossible for any guy to get close to Lonnie because Stephanie was not about to let Lonnie get any if Stephanie wasn't going to get some as well. If I was going to get this pootie wop from Lonnie, I knew that I had to do some drastic shit. And what let me know that I had to do that was Stephanie's parents took Stephanie, Lonnie, and me to go see the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, when we got to this game, I'd never been to a basketball game before. I think it's legitimately one of the only professional basketball games I've ever been to. When we got there, Stephanie's parents sat with Stephanie, and the minute Stephanie and Stephanie's parents were looking elsewhere, I grabbed Lonnie and I sneak Lonnie over to the other side of the basketball stadium where Stephanie or her parents can't see us. I've got my big ass leather coat, man, because it was wintertime and it gets really cold in Cleveland, Ohio. We're sitting in the nosebleed seats. No one else is sitting up there. We're completely alone. And mind you, I'm horny as all living shit. And luckily for me, because Lonnie's mom is so overprotective of her, she's complete and agreeable. She's down. So I take the coat and I put it over the both of us. Our heads and our feet are the only thing that's visible. I don't really need to paint the picture of what was going on up underneath the coat between me and Lonnie, but shit was going down. Tell me why, right as we get to the midst of shit's going down, Stephanie come dragging her fat Jabba the Hutt looking ass up the goddamn stairs, staring daggers at us. She comes and she sits down right next to us while the shit's still going down. To anyone out there smart enough to know where my hand is, I'm not wanting to move my hand, but now I've got this ugly Oompa Loompa looking bitch sitting right next to me. So now this has gone from, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, to awkward threesome Skyping sex thing. Me and Lonnie kind of detach ourselves from each other. We throw Stephanie every signal in the book, trying to let her know that she should go sit with her parents. She completely rejects all that shit and just sits there. For the next hour and a half, we try to convince this bitch to get the fuck away from us, to let us have some alone time. I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that this bitch knew. That's why she wouldn't fucking go nowhere. So after that shit, I'm like, look, man, this drastic measure. I go home and I call my homeboy Xavier. Now, Xavier was one of the toughest kids on the block that I used to play on. He was also cool as all living shit, and he had one of the shortest tempers I've known of anyone, even till today. But he also got a lot of girls. Just so happens Xavier owed me a really big favor. I forgot for what, but he owed me a really big favor. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to smash my girl and this fat ass ugly chick keeps getting in the way. Could you come over and run some interference for me while I kick it with my girl? And he's like, dude, I got you, bro. That's what's up. We all go to the neighborhood library. When he sees the girl that I'm having him run interference on for me, he pulls me aside. He's like, dude, I got you. I sit across from my girl. He sits across from Stephanie. And we're touching and patting and all that stuff up under the desk. Right as shit is about to start getting real again, out of nowhere, all I hear is this loud ass freaking bang, which since the library was so quiet, it sounded that much worse, like a fucking explosion up in that bitch. I look up just in time to see the fucking table flip. I fall backwards, man, because this shit just exploded off the fucking ground. I'm like, what the fuck? When I fall back in my seat, I look up and I see Xavier standing there. His face is fully red. Xavier was Puerto Rican, but he was really light-skinned. And his fists are balled up. He's looking at fucking Stephanie, and he's pointing at her like, oh, I swear to God, bitch, I'd slap you in your face. He didn't say that, but you could tell by the way he was pointing and the motion he was doing, like, bitch, I'll fucking kill. He looks over at me, and the anger instantly drains out of his face, and he's like, Maurice, I'm really sorry, bro. I'm really sorry. And then he looks over at the chick and he's like, but if this bitch puts her alligator rot ass feet on me one more fucking time, I'm gonna punch this bitch in the mouth. I love you, bro, but you know what? I can't do this shit. I'm fucking out. And he turns around and he fucking storms off. Now, Xavier is not one for subtlety and or attack when he's pissed off. So he said this shit loud as fuck in a crowded ass library. Every fucking body heard this shit, man. Now the entire library is all staring at us. Mainly Stephanie, because she's the one who he screamed at. She's just looking like she's shrinking by the freaking second, man. She looks so freaking embarrassed, dude. And I felt bad. I really felt bad for her right then, man. I'm like, I can understand you're unattractive and all, but dang, man, to be treated like that, like, so I felt kind of bad for her. Fast forward 3-4 days later, I'm over at Lonnie's house. Stephanie's sitting on the couch. She's watching cartoons. You know, Lonnie comes out and she gets me. She's like, let's listen to the radio in my room. We go into her room. Lonnie closes the door and locks that mug, and she turns on the radio. Luckily enough for me, the sweet, sultry sounds of Aaliyah Rock the Boat instantly come on, man. I don't know, man. It's something about that fucking song, which to me, it's one of the sexiest songs ever to me, especially if you've seen the video. though, man. And I'm looking at Lonnie, man, and she's looking at me, and I can tell, like, this is it. Me and her, we hit the bed. We start making out, man. One thing leads to another, and she asked me, yo, do you have a condom? Well, you know me, I'm a thirsty-ass virgin. What the fuck I look like going somewhere without some damn protection? You know, I'm not gonna cock block my damn self. So things start going further and further. I put the condom on, and just as things are about to go down, I shit you not, I was like 5 seconds away from not being a virgin anymore. We hear this loud ass banging on the door. All we hear is Stephanie screaming at the bedroom door, Lonnie, quick, your mom's home. So me, only thing I'm thinking about is the fact that Lonnie's mom has fucking guns off up in this bitch. I didn't even put my drawers on or take off the damn condom. I just pulled my fucking pants up and dive face first into the fucking closet and closed that bitch. Lonnie, she jumps up, she had on a dress, and she just pulls her dress down or whatever, you know, tries to primp herself to make herself look a little bit more presentable, like shit wasn't just now going down. You know, she opens up the door. I'm in the closet, so I can't see what's going on, but I can hear what's going on. A couple of minutes later, I hear Lonnie yelling at fucking Stephanie really heatedly, and then Lonnie comes back in the room. She opens the door super forcefully and then slams it back. And I come out the closet. I'm like, yo, what's up? She's like, look, man, you know what? I think it's best if you just leave. And I'm like, but your mom, isn't your mom here? Like, you know, what do I do? She's like, my mom's not here. She only did that to fucking stop us, man. I can't deal with this shit right now, man. This is really stressful. I can't deal with this shit. I tried to change her mind, but you know, I mean, shit. Aaliyah's song Rock the Boat had already went off, and she was dead serious. So as I walk out the goddamn door, I go to the living room to get my backpack. This bitch Stephanie jumps up with the widest smile I have ever seen this bitch have on her face. And she starts joking with me and punching me in the shoulder like we're best friends. I'm fucking pissed, okay? You have no idea what it feels like to have you losing your virginity snatched from you in such a malicious manner. I was so freaking mad. Imagine winning the lottery and to be on stage and right before the check touches your hand. Oh man, we forgot. You can't have this. And it just called security on you and shit. I punched this bitch in the shoulder as hard as I fucking could at the time. That's fine, you did what the fuck you did, but don't fucking come up here like we're best friends, bitch. She gets mad and she starts screaming and hollering. Now another thing Lonnie's mom did was to make sure that the downstairs neighbors knew that she didn't want any boys inside of her house while she was at work. Stephanie immediately starts jumping up and down full force and screaming, you know what, that's it. I don't give a fuck that Lonnie has boys in here. I don't give a fuck. Lonnie comes running out the fucking room. She's like, Maurice, please just go. You know, and I didn't want to leave, but I was fucking pissed, man. I walked off. I kept calling her for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and she wouldn't return my calls. One day, I just so happened to be walking by her house when she was usually outside. Very coincidentally, I wasn't stalking, you know, I was just checking her house to see where she was. I see her, you know, and I run over to her, man, and I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, I haven't seen you in a while. And she's like, look, we need to talk. We go for a walk away from Stephanie. She's like, look, I think it's best that we don't date no more. So, of course, I was crushed. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? What's up? She's like, well, you know what I mean? You know, things are really stressful right now, blah, blah, blah. You know, and Stephanie convinced me that we shouldn't date. I'm like, Stephanie? You gonna take dating advice from a lonely bitch like Stephanie? Like, really? All bullshit she's pulled. She's like, yeah, but that's my best friend, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh. You know, whatever, man. You know, I ain't tripping. You know, I went on the left and like I didn't see her for like another 2 years. I saw that fat ass bitch Stephanie though, and she tried to be friends with me again. I didn't kick her or nothing. I saw Lonnie again like a year later after I saw Stephanie. It was like 3 years total. We didn't date again romantically, but I talked to her and whatnot, and she was like, you know what, I regret breaking up with you. Stephanie kept doing that with anyone I would talk to after that. She was just mad because she was lonely, and I'm not friends with Stephanie anymore. So I was like, hey man, you know, I could have told you that bullshit. The moral of the story is always keep some lime, rope, duct tape in the trunk of your car. Just in case the girl you're talking to has an ugly friend. You might have to OJ Simpson that bitch. Is it too soon? Alright, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this story. If you did, make sure to leave a comment, a like, a favorite, and share this bitch. It lets me know that you guys enjoy these stories. And we up out of this bitch. Twisms!